We're diving into one of the biggest shockers in modern coin collecting, the 1997 D Washington quarter. Believe it or not, there's a rare variety of this coin that has sold for an insane $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. A pocket change quarter, worth more than a mansion in some places. Now, before you start digging through your couch cushions, let me tell you what makes this quarter so valuable. We'll go over the rare errors, what to look for, and how you could be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. So, grab your coffee, sit back, and let's talk coins. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I met a guy at a coin show who had a habit of checking his change every single day. He wasn't even a hardcore collector, just a guy who liked to see if he had anything special. Well, one day, he was at a gas station, got some quarters back in change, and something caught his eye. It was a 1997 D quarter, but it just looked different. Curious, he took it home, pulled out a magnifier, and started researching. Long story short, he sent it to be graded, and boom. It turned out to be one of the rarest known error quarters from 1997. Not quite $1.6 million, but he still walked away with a life-changing amount. Now, let's break down what makes some of these quarters so valuable. Alright, so what's the deal with this coin? How does a 25-cent piece become worth millions? It all comes down to rarity, errors, and condition. This legendary $1.6 million quarter isn't just any 1997 D, it's an off-metal transitional error. That means it was struck on the wrong type of planchet, or metal disc. In 1997, the US Mint was experimenting with different metal compositions for coins. A tiny batch of quarters accidentally got struck on a different metal, possibly an experimental alloy or even a leftover from a previous minting process. These errors are extremely rare, and only a handful have ever been found. That's what makes them worth insane amounts of money. If you've got one, you've basically won the coin collector's lottery. Now, how do you know if your 1997 D quarter is one of the rare million-dollar coins? A regular 1997 D quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but an off-metal error might be heavier or lighter. A jeweler's scale can help you check. If your quarter looks slightly off in color, maybe a different shade of silver or has a gold tint, it could be a misstruck planchet. Some of these error coins show double strikes or weak details due to improper striking. Look closely at Washington's face and the eagle on the back. Check the edge of your quarter. A wrong metal planchet may have a different edge finish, either missing the copper core or having a strange reading pattern. If you see any of these features, do not spend that quarter, get it checked immediately. Even if you don't have the legendary $1.6 million version, there are plenty of other valuable 1997 D quarters out there. Some of these can still bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some 1997 D quarters have a double image due to misalignment during minting. These can sell for $500 to $2,000 depending on condition. If the design isn't centered, your quarter could be worth $200 to $800. Quarters that are missing a chunk of metal due to a minting mistake can bring in $100 to $1,500. So, even if you don't have the $1 million version, checking your 1997 D quarters could still put big money in your pocket. If you think you found a valuable 1997 D quarter, don't just take it to your local pawn shop. You need a professional coin grading service. Like these experts will examine, authenticate, and grade your coin. A high-grade rare error can skyrocket in value, so grading is crucial. Once you've confirmed you've got a valuable quarter, here's where you can cash in: one of the biggest coin auction houses in the world. A popular marketplace for coin collectors. Some dealers pay big for rare finds, but shop around to get the best price. An online auction house for high-value coins. With the right buyer, your quarter could sell for thousands, or even that $1.6 million jackpot if you've got the holy grail of 1997 D quarters. That a tiny, everyday quarter could be worth life-changing money. It's all about knowing what to look for: errors, weight differences, color variations, and of course, getting it properly graded. If you've got a 1997 D quarter, check it now. Who knows, you might be holding a coin worth millions and not even realize it. And hey, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more rare coin finds. Drop a comment if you have any cool coins in your collection. I love hearing your stories. We're talking about a 1998 Washington quarter that could make you a millionaire overnight. Yeah, you heard that right, a tiny little quarter, worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Imagine finding one in your pocket change. That's a life-changing moment right there. Is this real? Oh yeah, it's very real. And by the time we're done, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to find them, and how to cash in if you've got one. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button if you love discovering valuable coins. I break down the best coin collecting secrets to help you turn everyday change into big money. Now, let's talk about what makes this 1998 quarter so special. You ever have one of those days where you're just going through some old coins, not expecting much, and then, bam, you hit the jackpot? Well, that's exactly what happened to a lucky collector last year. This guy, just a regular coin enthusiast, was sorting through some rolls of quarters when he noticed something odd. His 1998 quarter looked different. The color was slightly off, the lettering looked a little sharper, and the edges seemed too perfect. He did some digging, sent it in for authentication, and boom, turns out, it was an ultra-rare, one-of-a-kind error coin. The auction house listed it, and guess what? It sold for a record-breaking $1.70 million. So, what made it so valuable? Let's break it down. Not all 1998 Washington quarters are valuable, but a rare few have unique errors and special features that send collectors into a frenzy. The most valuable 1998 quarters have errors that make them one-of-a-kind. Some have double die obverse, where Washington's face appears slightly doubled. Others have off-center strikes, meaning the design wasn't perfectly aligned during minting. Some of these rare quarters have ultra-sharp details because they were struck with fresh dies. The crisper the details, the higher the value. This is where things get wild. Some of these 1998 quarters were accidentally struck on experimental planchets, meaning, they weren't made from the usual copper-nickel alloy. Some are silver-toned, some have a weird golden hue, and these are the ones that can fetch insane amounts at auction. If you have a 1998 quarter in mint state, MS67 or higher, that's where the big bucks come in. Anything graded by PCGS or NGC in these high states can go for thousands, and if you have an error coin on top of that, that's when you're looking at life-changing money. Alright, so you're probably reaching for your change jar right now. It's gotta be a 1998 meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. No D, no S, just a crisp P. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and check for any unusual features. Double dies, off-center strikes, or weird coloring could mean you're sitting on a fortune. A normal Washington quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, you might have one of those experimental planchet errors. If you find anything that looks different, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. This is how you prove authenticity and get top dollar at auction. Now, let's talk real money. You might not have the exact $1.7 million quarter, but other valuable 1998 quarters have sold for huge prices recently. Experimental planchet quarter in MS65 went for $45,000 at auction. The Holy Grail, an ultra-rare experimental planchet variety in MS68, that's the one that hit $1.70 million. These are real sales from major auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers. People are paying serious cash for these coins. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where do I even find one of these? Don't ignore your quarters. Check every single one before spending it. Buy rolls of quarters and go through them. This is a tried-and-true method for finding rare coins. People often sell old coin collections without knowing their true value. Sometimes, sellers don't realize what they have. You might score big if you know what to look for. Alright folks, you've got everything you need to start hunting for that $1.7 million quarter. We covered what makes the 1998 Washington quarter worth so much. Real-life sales proving these coins can fetch insane money. Now it's your turn. Go check your quarters. If you find something interesting, leave a comment. I'd love to hear about it, and before you go, hit that subscribe button because I've got more videos coming your way on rare coins that could make you rich. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Ever wonder if you've got a fortune just sitting in your pocket change? Well, today, we're talking about a 1998 Washington quarter that could be worth up to $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right, almost $2 million for a quarter. So, grab your loose change, get comfortable, and let's dive into what makes this rare coin so valuable and how you can spot one. Now, before we break down what makes this quarter so special, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Joe, is one of those guys who never pays attention to his spare change. You know the type, just tosses coins in a jar and forgets about them. Well, one day, he was watching one of my videos, smart guy, and decided to go through his stash. Guess what? He found a 1998 quarter that looked unusual. So, he took it to a coin dealer, thinking maybe it was worth a few bucks. Turns out, it was one of the rarest error coins ever minted. Now, I won't spoil the ending, but let's just say Joe's vacation plans got a whole lot fancier. Alright, let's get into the details. Not every 1998 Washington quarter is valuable, but there's a specific variety that collectors are going absolutely crazy for. Some 1998 quarters were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the coin blank was either the wrong material or the wrong size. Others may have double strikes, off-center errors, or even missing clad layers. These errors are what push the value sky high. Some collectors pay a premium for quarters that have perfectly struck details, especially in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. One of the rarest versions of the 1998 quarter was struck on a foreign coin planchet, making it extremely valuable. Certain die clashes and repunched mint marks from the Denver Mint in 1998 can make a huge difference in value. If your quarter is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth a fortune. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC are where the big money is. Now, let's talk numbers. How much can you actually get for a 1998 quarter? If your 1998 is just a normal quarter with wear and tear, it's still worth, well, a quarter. Sorry. Coins in this grade can fetch anywhere from $100 to $2,000 depending on quality, rare errors, off-center strikes, wrong planchet, missing clad layer. These can bring in anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000. The $1.8 million quarter, the record-breaking 1998 quarter, was a rare off-metal error struck on a foreign planchet with additional striking anomalies. If you find one like this, you just hit the jackpot. So, how do you know if you've got a rare one? It should have a small D near Washington's ponytail, which stands for the Denver Mint. A missing clad layer will give it a distinct copper or dull gray look. Check for doubling in the letters or Washington's face. A normal quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it's significantly different, you might have an off-metal strike. If you suspect you have a rare one, compare it to past auction results or get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Did you know that quarters weren't always made of the same materials? Before 1965, they were 90% silver, and those alone are worth way more than face value today. Also, some mint errors happen because coins get stuck in the presses and are struck multiple times before being released. Talk about a wild ride. Alright, folks, we've covered a lot today. If you've got a 1998 Washington quarter, go check it right now. You never know, you might be sitting on $1 million coin without even realizing it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden treasure hunts in your pocket change. Also, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Have you ever looked at your pocket change and thought, man, what if one of these coins is worth a fortune? Well, today, we're diving into the 1995 Washington quarter, because rumors are swirling about one selling for a mind-blowing $1.9 million. But is that true? Or is it just another internet myth? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin valuable, how to spot rare varieties, and whether you might have a hidden gem in your collection. Plus, I'll share a personal story about the time I nearly threw away a valuable coin without even realizing it. So, grab your change jar, and let's get started. Alright, let's cut to the chase. The 1995 Washington quarter is a common coin. Millions were made at the Denver Mint. But somewhere along the way, a story popped up about one being worth nearly $2 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, before you start flipping over every quarter you've ever touched, let's break down what makes a coin valuable, what makes a 1995 quarter valuable. Not all 1995 quarters are worth more than 25 cents. In fact, most of them are just regular pocket change. But some factors can skyrocket their value. If a 1995 quarter has a rare minting error, collectors go wild for it. We're talking things like double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. If a quarter is in MS 67 or higher, it could be worth some serious cash. The better the condition, the higher the price. Coins with sharp details and original mint luster tend to fetch higher values. Rare mint errors on the 1995 quarter coin errors are like typos in a book, only instead of being embarrassing, they make the coin super rare and valuable. Here are some errors that could make a 1995 quarter worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If Washington's face or the lettering looks doubled, you might have a valuable coin. If the design is pushed to one side, collectors love these mistakes. If a quarter was accidentally struck on a nickel or dime planchet, it's a jackpot find. So far, no verified 1995 quarter has sold for $1.90 million. So, where did this crazy story come from? Probably an online auction listing or a misreported sale. Some websites love to throw out huge numbers for clickbait, but when you check the real records, there's no confirmed sale of a 1995 quarter for nearly $2 million. The real market value for a rare, high-grade 1995 quarter? Around $1,000 to $5,000 in MS 67 condition. If you've got an extreme error, you might see values climb higher, but $1.9 million? Not happening. So, how do you know if your 1995 quarter is worth more than 25 cents? Use a magnifying glass and check for doubling, misprints, or off-center strikes. If your quarter looks brand new, it might be worth grading. Websites like PCGS or NGC can help estimate the value. If you think you have something special, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Let me tell you about the time I almost lost a valuable coin. A few years back, I was sorting through some pocket change and came across a worn-out dime that looked slightly off. I almost tossed it in a tip jar, but something told me to take a closer look. Turns out, it was a rare 1982 no-mint Mark Roosevelt dime, worth about $200. Imagine how many rare coins get spent or lost every day because people don't check. That's why I always say, check your change, because you never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1995 Washington quarter is a cool coin, and some rare versions can be worth a lot. But that $1.9 million story? Pure myth. If you want to find valuable quarters, remember, look for errors, check the condition, and don't believe everything you read online. And hey, before you go, let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found in your change? Maybe you've got a rare quarter sitting in your pocket right now. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and ring that bell so you never miss a new upload. We're diving into a coin that could change your life, the 1994 Washington quarter. Now, I know what you're thinking, a quarter? Worth $2 million? Sounds crazy, right? But stick with me, because I'm about to break it all down for you: what makes this coin worth a fortune, what to look for, and how you might just have one sitting in your pocket change. Before we get into it, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into the world of rare coins. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Jim, was a casual collector. He'd check his change now and then but never thought much of it. Well, one day, he dumps a handful of quarters on his desk, and something catches his eye. One coin looked different. Little did he know, that one quarter could have been worth life-changing money. Unfortunately, he spent it on a cup of coffee before getting it checked. That's why you need to pay attention, so you don't make the same mistake. Alright, so let's break it down. The 1994 D quarter was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. Most of these are just regular 25-cent pieces, but a tiny fraction of them have rare errors or unique features that make collectors go wild. Some 1994 D quarters were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the blank metal disc wasn't what the mint intended. This happens when a coin is mistakenly struck on a planchet meant for another denomination. If you find a 1994 D quarter struck on a nickel or dime planchet, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. Double dies occur when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, creating a blurry or shadowed effect. Check for doubling on Washington's face, the word liberty, and in God we trust. If you spot a clear double die, that quarter is worth way more than just pocket change. Ever see a coin where the design looks like it slid off the edge? That's an off-center strike. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin. A 1994 D quarter with an extreme off-center strike could bring in serious cash. Now, this one's for the advanced collectors out there. Some quarters were struck with exceptionally sharp detail, especially on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. If your quarter has strong, full details, it's worth more than a standard issue. Alright, so where does the $2 million price tag come in? Well, here's the deal: rare coin values depend on demand, condition, and uniqueness. A flawless 1994 D quarter with a one-of-a-kind minting error could fetch an astronomical price at auction. Some collectors are willing to pay insane amounts for a coin nobody else has. For example, a rare Washington quarter with a unique off-metal error sold for over $1.5 million in a past auction. If an undiscovered 1994 D with a similar error shows up, $2 million isn't out of the question. For more common errors, you're looking at anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s. Even a high-grade 1994 D quarter in pristine condition can sell for hundreds. So, it's worth checking your change. If you're staring at your quarters right now wondering if you've got a hidden fortune, here's what you need to do: make sure it's a 1994 quarter with a D below Washington's ponytail. Use a magnifying glass to inspect details like doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual metals. A standard quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If yours is significantly heavier or lighter, it could be an error coin. If you think you have something special, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. A high-graded rare error coin can skyrocket in value. If you're lucky enough to find a rare 1994 D quarter, you don't want to just cash it in at the bank. Places like Heritage Auctions and Stax Bowers handle million-dollar coins. Great collections, and even Facebook coin groups can help you connect with collectors. A reputable dealer can evaluate your coin and offer a fair price. Look, most 1994 D quarters are worth just 25 cents. But every now and then, a rare error coin pops up, and it could be worth life-changing money. So, the next time you get a quarter in your change, take a second look. You never know, you might be holding onto a $2 million treasure without even realizing it. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting tips, and drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? I've got a story that'll knock your socks off. Imagine finding a 1995 D Washington quarter in your pocket change, only to realize it's worth a jaw-dropping $2.1 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive deep into why this coin is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you might just have one sitting in your collection without even knowing it. I remember when I first heard about this insane coin value. I thought, there's no way a 1995 quarter is worth that much. But then, I did some digging, and let me tell you, it's real. And today, I'm going to show you how to identify this $1 million coin and what makes it so rare. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's talk money, coin money. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1995 Washington quarter was minted in Denver, and at first glance, it looks just like any other quarter. You've probably spent thousands of these over the years without thinking twice. But not all 1995 quarters are created equal. Most are only worth face value, but a rare variety has sent collectors into a frenzy, pushing its value to over $2 million at auction. Now, you're probably wondering, what exactly makes this coin so special? The answer lies in a critical minting error that occurred during production. This is the big one. A doubling effect on the lettering and design elements makes this quarter stand out. Check Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. If they look doubled, you might be in for a big payday. Some valuable versions of this coin were struck slightly off-center, making them highly desirable to collectors. On the reverse, the drum on the eagle's tail should have fully visible, well-defined lines. The clearer they are, the more valuable your coin. This is a rare case where the coin was struck on a different metal composition than intended. If you find one of these, get it authenticated immediately. These errors are so rare that when a collector found one in near-perfect condition, it sold for $2.1 million at auction. Alright, so now you know what to look for. But where do you find one? You know that jar of spare change sitting on your dresser? Time to go through it. Ask for quarter rolls and search through them. People unknowingly return valuable coins all the time. Many people inherit old coin collections without knowing their true value. Sometimes rare coins slip through the cracks and end up being sold for next to nothing. Trust me, I've heard plenty of stories of lucky folks finding rare quarters in the most unexpected places. Okay, let's say you find a promising quarter. What next? Do not rush to sell it immediately. Here's the smart way to go about it. Take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-graded, rare coin can skyrocket in value. Check recent auction prices, look at past sales to understand what similar coins have sold for, list it with a reputable auction house. Coins of this value should be sold through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. If someone offers you a few $100, walk away. A legit collector will pay what it's truly worth. Maybe you didn't hit the jackpot with a $2.1 million quarter, but don't worry. There are still valuable 1995 quarters out there, including, if you have an uncirculated quarter in mint condition, it could be worth a few $100s. Some collectors pay big money for coins with natural rainbow toning, so, even if you don't find the big one, there's still plenty of money to be made. Alright, folks, that's a wrap. We just explored the insane world of the 1995 Washington quarter, and now you know exactly what to look for. Who knew a simple quarter could turn someone into a millionaire? So, before you spend your next 25 cents, take a closer look. It might just change your life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more coin collecting secrets. And let me know in the comments, what's the rarest coin you've ever found?